Good morning, guys. How are you? I know lots of car vlogs, lots of car content. I use content lightly. It's been a little hectic. Like last night, I had to do stuff around the house. People have no patience. Have some patience for fellow drivers. Good Lord. Figured I could talk to you this morning. And this is one of those videos, like, just, you can put your phone down. There's, nothing exciting to see here. A couple weeks ago, I did a video about influencers and the idea of new money, because I think that a lot of influencers that find financial success online are coming into new money, and that's why we see them acting a complete fool. Not saying that people with old money can't. You guys know that most of the stuff I talk about is, it's a fluid topic, and not one thing always applies to the whole idea. So, but after I talked about the idea of influencers and new money, it also made me think of the opposite, like the complete opposite spectrum of that, and that's influencers and poverty. I talk a lot on my channel about flex culture and influencers just kind of not thinking about who might be watching them on the other side of the screen. And let me get one thing really straight. Someone else's financial position is not an influencer's fault. So I'm not saying that an influencer should be blamed for one of their subscribers being poor. That's not it at all. But when you think of building a platform online, relatability is key. If you start losing your relatability, your audience will start tuning out. And when you're an influencer or a YouTuber, your audience is, like, those are your customers. If we're going to say that the influencer is the storefront, like, the influencer themselves is the storefront, and their personality is their brick and mortar store, then their followers are their customers. And in business, no matter what kind of business you have, it's so important to make sure that your customers feel welcome, they feel appreciated, they feel like their money or their time is being well spent doing business with you. I've noticed this a lot, especially with lifestyle influencers and beauty gurus. The amount of sheer advertisement that they do on their channel is so insane. If you have someone doing beauty content and you think of how many products they plug, it's just absolutely astronomical. To put that into perspective of how much they're advertising to their fan base. Something else that I've noticed is you'll have YouTubers that actually start out as being poor themselves. If we want to take it a step further and think of maybe even people that aren't necessarily poor, but they're living, paycheck to paycheck, and they come up on YouTube and start a channel. And of course, I have to do it, you guys. I think of Love Meg. I think the reason that Love Meg makes such a good example is because her platform did actually start as someone who was not living lavishly. Therefore, she attracted a subscriber base that was watching her content because they could relate to it. They could relate to decorations that you might be able to find at the dollar store, or how to feed your family on a budget. When you're making that content, you're attracting people that are in the same, boat as you are. And I think it really speaks volumes, the fact that even someone like Love Meg completely lost her relatability factor as soon as she came into a decent amount of money. And you would think, okay, if there's any type of influencer or vlogger that would not lose relatability, it would be someone who started out in a position where they were making videos of how to feed your family for less than $10, or how to decorate for a birthday party with $15, like that type of content. You would think, well, I'll have a little more faith in this person because they started out showing me content of how to feed my family for less than $10. So it's almost like it makes people lose hope when you see someone that started in the position of that and transformed so quickly to someone who has blue velvet couches and is expecting people to pay for, cleaning content that's put behind a paywall. Total side note when it comes to Love Meg, just because I just thought of this, she's actually putting old videos behind this paywall that she has. Is that not the dumbest thing that you've ever heard of? She's removing old videos, or has removed in the past old videos from her YouTube channel and stored them in an archive. And now she's uploading them behind a paywall. Videos that have, little to no educational value. They wouldn't be flagged by YouTube for being inappropriate. It's literally content that she could put on YouTube and have no problem with it. And I almost wonder how long she's thought of this putting stuff behind a paywall thing. Was she thinking about it like 6 months or a year ago and started quietly removing stuff off of her YouTube channel? Or was this stuff that she actually removed like 4 or 5 years ago, just so happened to keep it, and now she's putting it on behind the paywall because she removed it 4 or 5 years ago? Which is it? That's the one of the things that I wonder about. But either way, that's just a complete side note. But I think the idea of influencers and subscribers that are living in poverty or living paycheck to paycheck it's a very complicated topic, because I don't know if there's a perfect answer as to what that solution would be. But I think that one of the easiest ways to go about it is that if you start out making content that relates to people that are living paycheck to paycheck or living in poverty, maybe do your best to not get too far away from who it is that you were making content for. Because like I said, as soon as your customers, which are your subscribers, start to feel isolated, that is a lot of times where we start to see upset subscribers voicing their opinions on drama and commentary channels, because you have not only isolated them, but if they give you criticism, their comments are deleted. So where else are they going to go? They're going to go to people like my channel, like other, tea commentary channels, and they're going to voice their opinions there. It's pretty easy to figure out. If you feel like your voice is silenced somewhere, you're going to go where you feel like your voice can be heard. And I understand to a certain level, not in an unhealthy way, but the attachment that can happen by spending 10 minutes of your day or 30 minutes of your week, once a week, with a certain YouTuber. I understand the importance of that. It can I've been getting comments. I got a comment the other day from someone that said, I love that you upload every day because I can get, basically like she gets a chore done while she listens to my video. And I just thought that was so awesome. Just to know that my silly little videos, which y'all already know, I don't come over here and say that I'm producing the best content. I'm not here to say, look at me, look at what I'm doing. I make silly little videos with opinions about stuff that most of the time it really doesn't matter. And to know that there's one person out there who turns on my video and folds laundry or empties the dishwasher or just sits there and props their feet up. I mean, whatever someone does, but it's not missed on me that spending part of your day with a certain YouTuber can become ingrained into your routine and what is, what your day-to-day is. Maybe you watch a certain YouTuber on your lunch break every day. Maybe you have your morning coffee and watch a YouTuber. And that's also why I personally love to upload every day, because not only is it consistent, which I've talked about consistency before, but I like for you guys to know that there will be a video at some point during the day. I don't have a specific upload time, but at least there's something that you guys can count on. Now, don't get me wrong, life happens, stuff gets in the way. So there are days where I skip an upload, or maybe it's late in the day when I get it finally rendered and all ready to go. But I do try to do that, because even, like I said, even if it's just one person, that is important to me. So I think poverty and people living paycheck to paycheck is something that's such a small amount of influencers. They actually think of this and they actually take things into consideration. And I also think that it would even be better if you have someone who starts out, normal, living paycheck to paycheck or whatever, and they're making that type of content and they do find financial success on YouTube. I'm not saying that, you can't ever show like what you're spending your money on. Like, that's just completely dumb to, try to manage what someone's filming. But something that could be done would be, if you're showing what you're buying your kids for Christmas, knowing that there are other parents in your audience who most likely either maybe could buy their kid one present, or if they could buy anything at all, for a fact that there are people like that in your audience watching. Why not take the opportunity when you're making this video showing all of these presents? Make sure that you're putting a message out to the parents who could not do what you're doing in your video. Because sometimes it's just as important to remind people that they're being heard. That they're there, that they're watching, that they're supporting, and that they put you in the position where you can spend $2,000 on Christmas presents. Because I think a lot of times what happens is, once an influencer starts to alienate that group of people, it's not only that they feel alienated, but they don't even feel seen or heard. I just think it's kind of crazy how quickly people can change. It really is. It's almost like a sad thing to watch in some ways. And then you have people like Meg who are sitting there and being like, oh, money doesn't make people good or bad. People are just good or bad, and money has nothing to do with it. That's such a crock of shit. I mean, honestly, if you can say that with a straight face, it's because you're denying that you are the person that money made bad. And that's my opinion. You can look at any number of influencers and you can see how much money changed their demeanor, the content that they make, the way that they treat their subscribers. And usually as their online financial success increases, their ability to relate to people that are working paycheck to paycheck or possibly living in poverty just diminishes to absolutely nothing. But anyway, guys, I wanted to share my thoughts on this. This topic has been on my mind for a little while, and I feel like with the recent announcements of, hey, we're going to put shitty content behind a paywall, it was the right time to talk about this, because poverty influencers, paycheck to paycheck, that is a lot of people in the world, like poverty or living paycheck to paycheck or maxing out their credit cards so that they can do a birthday for their children. That is just the life that, a lot of people live, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. And you should not feel bad about yourself because you found an influencer that at one point in time you found relatable and they changed. So they alienated you, and there should be no guilt or anything in that. I think this whole idea of influencers being obnoxious and participating in flex culture and all the shit that we talk about all the time on my channel, I do think that ship might be coming to a stop. I can't say for sure, but I do see public opinion kind of changing, and I feel that people just have a shorter fuse when it comes to making these stupid, entitled people famous and giving them all the success. So it's almost like, okay, we're going to let you get up there, and as soon as you act a fool, then you're done. So I think that the rise might continue to happen, but as time goes on, most of them just become a running joke and people are over it. Something else that I'll say is a lot of these influencers that have platforms and they want to act like they really care about people that are, working hard and all of this kind of stuff. When you have the size platform that some of them have, do you know how much good could be done by, I don't know, sharing resources, sharing maybe someone's story once in a while? Obviously, sharing people's story is very tricky because it has to be researched and all of that kind of stuff. But I just always look at the size platform and think, wow, this person could really be doing life-changing stuff, and instead they're making announcements about putting dumb content behind a paywall and telling us how many vacations they're going to go on this summer. It's crazy. But either way, that's enough ranting for today. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.